All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Big Things Kentucky, our very first soccer game. We are doing girls soccer tonight. We have a city, I guess you would call this a rivalry. First of all, I want to introduce my co-host tonight. We got my man Mark Majors. Is that correct?
That's right. Hey,
All
Coach Chuck.
right.
Thanks
Yes,
for having me
sir.
tonight.
Yes, sir. Mark Majors, who works with Douglas. You work with Douglas mainly?
Yeah, Frederick Douglass Soccer. Tend myself and another gentleman, Jay Johnson, do the PA announcing over at the Frederick Douglass girls soccer games.
All right. So what got you into soccer? I mean, kids, you just love for the game?
I guess my kids. I've got three, and
Okay.
had really been involved with coaching each of those as kind of moved up through the different leagues, and
All right.
really had an opportunity to really enjoy doing that, and got more and
Okay.
more involved. And as they moved on to other leagues and into some of the club programs and into the high school, then I had to find some other opportunities to be involved.
All right. So now are your kids still playing or?
Yeah, so my youngest is the only one at the house right now. Ellie just finished the junior varsity game, and she's one of the swing players for the Frederick Douglass Broncos, and she'll
Okay.
dress for the varsity game this evening.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go.
All right, so we're here tonight with Coach Truck and myself, Mark, with Big Things Kentucky.
Yes, sir.
It's a region matchup out of District 43. You've got the Lafayette Generals,
Yeah.
and District 42 out of the Frederick Douglass Broncos.
Yes, sir.
We'll do our best tonight, make it exciting, make it fun, keep you involved in terms of what's going on the field, and add a little color as we see through the fit.
Up here. All right, I do gotta apologize. I did shoot the starting lineups to do their introduction. The girls will be mad at me. I was rushing, and it didn't. The quality just wasn't there. So
worry.
yeah, I'm apologizing, ladies. I know y'all looking for your introductions and your close-ups. It just didn't. Sound wasn't right. I rushed it. So yeah. All right. All right. And here we go. Okay.
All right, so our in-house PA announcer just went through the starting lineups and rattled them off to us. We're going to go through them for you as well. All right, for the Frederick Douglass Broncos, number 2, Maddie Merriweather. Number 8, Riley Kate Porter making a start as a freshman this evening. Number 9, JoJo Williams, our junior. We're going to pause for the national anthem. Beautiful anthem this evening.
Yes,
And
sir.
here we are in Fayette County. Beautiful 74 degrees at Lafayette High School. Continuing on with the starting lineups, Frederick Douglass. Number 2, Maddie Merriweather, a junior. Number 8, freshman, Riley Kate Porter. Number 9, JoJo Williams, a junior. Number 11, Avery King, also a junior. Number 15, Gabrielle Barnes, sophomore. Number 16, senior, Haley Flynn. Freshman, number 20, Addie O'Farrell. Number 21, freshman, Ella Delaney. Number 23, A.G. Meek, senior. Number 24, senior, Ava Rao. And in goal tonight for the Broncos, number 99, Reese Walker.
Sir, good job. Good job. Now, Frederick Douglass comes in, is there 7-2? Is that correct?
Yeah, they had some games this past weekend down in Gatlinburg they participated in, so I don't know if those are an off, off regular season record, but 7-2 is where they are local, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Finishing
I
up
have
the starting
their-
lineups for Lafayette, number 1, Claire Studdard. Number 2, Aubrey Cloyd. Number 9, Lily Simpson. Number 10, Emery Arnold. Number 11, Allie Robertson. Number 12, Eva King. Number 13, Sydney Breeze. Number 15, Alden Nussbacher. Number 16, Campbell Tippy. 17, Ilana Wilson. And number 24, Piper Smith.
And Lafayette comes into the game 5-0-2. They've scored 30 goals and have 7 goals allowed. And Frederick Douglass is 31 goals they've scored and allowed 7.
Taking the kickoff top, number 14, Anna Atkins. We're going 40-minute halves this evening. Clocks will stop periodically for injuries, scores, and any direction from the lead referee. Going to go to throw in for Lafayette. Number 24, Piper Smith taking the throw.
Now, just strategy-wise, what's Douglas doing right now?
Mainly
Defensively.
protection at
Okay.
this point.
Okay.
24, Smith with the toss on the near side.
Oh.
Shot on goal by the Generals by number 2, Aubrey Cloyd. Save and a scoop by goalkeeper for the Broncos, number 99, Reese Walker. Walker with the punt. Ball gathered by the Broncos by Haley Flynn, 16 of the Broncos. Flynn and Merriweather are going to be your powerhouses coming for the Broncos.
Okay.
So you're going to keep an eye on them. That's where primarily where a lot of their goal scoring comes from. Scoop deep in the box by 99, Reese Walker, keeper for the Broncos.
I'm just trying to keep up right now. I'm working with my man Marshawn on the camera. If y'all familiar with Big Things Kentucky, Marshawn is our intern that does the camera work. You know, sometimes he's been known to miss a play or two. You know, so we just blame Marshawn. I'm trying to make sure he knows what's going on right now. This is his first time shooting soccer, so I'm gonna be a little preoccupied with Marshawn, the cameraman. Now these are two of the how are these teams considered in the realm of the region?
Yeah, Lafayette this year has been identified as one of the stronger teams in the region.
Okay.
Them and probably Lexington Catholic.
I was going to say, I know Catholic's been pretty dominant over the years.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the bully of the region. Would that be safe to say?
Big Truck or Coach Truck? Maybe your words, not mine. But yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying that's the way it's been described to me. Is Lexington Catholic may be considered the bullies.
Free kick for the Broncos, taken by Addie O'Farrell. But when I say that Lafayette is one of the stronger teams, not to have any downside to the Broncos, they are a strong team, and I think you're going to see a good matchup this evening.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. I know Lafayette is a senior-laden team, They've got a lot of seniors, and this may be one of Coach's better teams she's had in her stint being here at Lafayette, is my understanding.
Yeah, I count 9 seniors on the roster
Yes.
for Lafayette. And if I'm correct off my memory, I think the Broncos are at 4 seniors this year.
Yes, I talked to Coach before the game. She said, they're relatively young this year. They graduated a lot of players last year.
And an interesting starting lineup for the Broncos this evening. We've got 3 freshmen starting this evening.
She got a little footwork there. I see her with the little ball work.
Oh, strong goal by the Generals.
That was impressive. Lafayette's up 1-0.
That general goal by number 9, Lily Simpson, a senior forward for the Generals.
What a play. Hey, I'm impressed. Now, if you're coaching, the Douglas side, how do you counter that?
Well, you need to get some more pressure up on the offensive attack, but at the same time, you got to protect your defense. So we'll see how coach reacts and any adjustments that she may make.
Now I know they have like sets, kind of like 2-3-1 or something like that. 2-3-1, but like a, I don't know what would be a soccer set, 5-2-2.
Well, yeah, you usually
5-5-2.
start on the back line, so you'll have a 4, 2-2, whatever it may be, building up across the front.
Right.
If you're trying to play an attack, you're going to put more people up on the front. If you're more on the defensive side, where you got a lead to protect, you're going to be heavy on the backside.
Okay, I got you.
So here we are, 1-0 this evening. Lafayette Generals, a home team, take the lead right at even 36 minutes left in the half. Ball sent out of bounds by the Broncos, number 15, Gabrielle Barnes. It'll be a throw-in for the Generals.
Now,
the AR is called an illegal throw-in on the Broncos. Turnover throw-in to the Lafayette Generals. Sorry, Coach Truck, go ahead.
No, I was going to say it almost looks like it's kind of like man-to-man defense, like everybody's kind of got a man almost. Is that kind of how this goes?
Sometimes, and you may choose to take one of the stronger players and choose almost like a boxing one on basketball or however you choose it. But
there
primarily,
we
you're
go.
you're playing a zone area. So each fielder out there, especially on the defensive side, has got a zone or area of the field that they have responsibility for. And when they need help and they got more players in that area, they're going to get help pulled in from the opposite sides or even from the center.
Okay. I'm digging it. Well, I want to appreciate you for breaking me in on this international game we play here, soccer. I know the Lexington region is very strong. It's very popular here.
Ball sent out of bounds by the Broncos will be a throw-in. Number 24, Piper Smith with the throw for the Generals. Back heel shot by number 11, Allie Robertson. Scooped up by the keeper, Reese Walker. Ball played out wide to Ella Delaney, number 21 for the Broncos. Ball deep down to RKP, Riley Kate Porter.
RKP. I like that. RKP. Riley Kate Porter. This Lafayette team seems very athletic.
Ball played deep into the line for Campbell Tippy. Ava Rao over to break that up.
Now, that's one thing I was told to look out for. How do you distinguish offsides? Is that a very subjective call?
It should not be, but there's a lot of pressure on that line AR assistant referee to make that call. He has to understand when the ball is kicked or when the ball is sent in comparison to where the position of the player is at that time.
Okay.
So, and again, maybe I'm not the right person to answer this, but you need to have the player that needs to position themselves so there's at least two opposite players on the opposite team between them and the goal. Okay. All right. So they're gonna, and typically one of those players, not always, but typically one of those players is the goalie.
Okay.
And then they need usually one defensive back. So they need to stagger their run or slow their run or actually sometimes curl back and change the direction of the run so that by the time that ball is kicked, they are not out of position for that.
Got you. Okay.
So a lot of times the AR is
so
watching.
You don't want to see like a fast break, kind of like in basketball, where he's just down there by themselves, where they're down there by themselves.
You will if they time it right.
If
they can get their run going, so that at the time they meet or are just north of that last defender,
when the ball's
and
kicked.
they have the momentum and they're carrying themselves for when the ball's kicked, then they have a huge advantage because the player is stationary at that point. The defensive player is stationary.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. See, we're doing a little soccer 101 as we getting this in.
All right, we have a set play opportunity for the Broncos. We have a foul called on the Generals, really close to the far corner kick area. Over to take the kick is Addie O'Farrell, sending it into the box. Haley Flynn with the header. Ball goes low, and we'll have this time we will have a true corner kick from the same spot.
Okay.
Number 24, Ava Rao, over to take the kick this time. Ball sent in on Rao on a low runner. Ball played out wide by Lafayette, out of bounds, throw in for the Broncos. Ball played long by Anna Atkins, looking for Riley Kate Porter, a little too far, scooped up by the keeper, Claire Studdard. Foul caught on the Generals on the play. Be a free kick for the Broncos.
All right.
Over to take the kick, number 20, freshman, Addie O'Farrell. Ball placed about 25 yards out from the inline.
She has 2 points on the season. Now, how do you accumulate points? Is that like assists, kind of like the hockey points? Is that how that works?
In some way. Ooh. Long ball into the box, headed away by JoJo Williams. Substitutions into the game for Lafayette Generals. Number 4, Samantha Lynn, a freshman. And number 5, Kitty Crovo, a sophomore midfielder.
Now, is it correct that once you sub them out, they can't come back in, or can they come back in?
High school rules allow for unlimited subbing.
Oh, okay,
substitution.
okay.
As you get into the higher levels, college levels, and in the pro levels, there's very strict rules in terms of substitutions.
Okay.
But in the high school right now, the rule is that you are allowed unlimited substitution. There are some restrictions as the game gets closer into the end, the last 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The winning team, at the times that they sub, the clock will stop.
Really?
So, yeah, and what that does is it takes the advantage away from the coach of trying to run through the clock by doing multiple substitutions. Because in soccer, when the ball is dead, the ball goes out of bounds, the clock continues to run.
Yeah,
On substitutions, the clock
Okay.
continues to run.
Okay.
So it just takes that opportunity away to be able to run the clock down.
Fascinating. I did not know that.
Be a throw in for the Lafayette Journals on the far side of the field. Number 10, Emily Arnold, senior defensive midfielder, with a throw. Riley K. Porter handling the ball in the center, plays left to JoJo Williams outside the box, up to the top of the box to Haley Flynn. Ball sent wide out of bounds. Throw in for the Generals. Game recap so far. We're into the 15th minute. Generals 1, Frederick Douglass 0.
She got a break 1-on-1. She got some handles. That's a good defense.
And that's going to be an offside
right
call
there.
against the Generals.
Okay. Now, that was good defense right there,
It
correct?
was good defense. It was a good
Okay.
attack by number 16, Campbell Tippy.
Okay.
Strong defensive stand by the Broncos.
All right.
And Coach Chuck, maybe what you saw in that is maybe the defenders weren't necessarily in the right position, but what they do is they find themselves pulling up the field to draw that defender offside in that case. So that defender cannot go and hang out deep in the goal, cherry pick, if you might say.
Okay.
All right. And then in that case, they got a little greedy, out of position. Ball was played to them, and then the turnover on the offside violation.
Okay, I got you.
Foul called on the Broncos. Number 9, JoJo Williams, called on the foul. Be a free kick. Header off the Broncos, goes into the box. Scooped by the keeper, number 99, Reese Walker. Walker will punt it away. Sends it deep into the 40. Strong. Whoop. Not to say strong defensive move, but foul called on number 24, Ava Rao. Be a free kick for the Generals. That free kick taken by number 17, Ilana Wilson. A scrum in front of the goal. Grabbed by the keeper, Reese Walker. Quick attack on the left side by the Generals. Ball played out of bounds by 15. Gabby Barnes of the Broncos. Substitution in the game for the Lafayette Generals. Number 19, Lily Johnson, a sophomore forward, into the game. Foul called on the Broncos. Be a free kick for the Generals. That free kick taken by number 15, Alden Nussbacher. Counterattack by the Broncos broken up. Now possessed by the Lafayette Generals.
Oh, close. Close.
Shot by Lafayette Generals. Samantha Williams goes wide. Be a goal kick for the Broncos. Taking a Bronco kick. Number 20, Addie O'Farrell.
Offside.
It's a good ball played by Kitty Crovo. Played it out wide, then went deep for the receipt and positioned herself offside. Not exactly in agreement with the AR on that call. Correction. Number 9, Lily Simpson. Broncos tripped up at the 30. Be a foul called on the Generals. Be a free kick for Frederick Douglass. Number 20, Addie O'Farrell up to take the kick. Ball placed right at the 30. Haley Flynn with the shot. Off the side of her foot. Saved by the keeper, number 1, Claire Studdard, sophomore goalkeeper for the Lafayette Generals. That was an opportunity that the Broncos like to have back. Here we have JoJo Williams driving on the left side. Strong defense. It'll be a goal kick for the Broncos on the near sideline.
Well, I appreciate you, Mr. Majors. You're doing a major job. Hey, keep up the good work. Y'all, this the quietest Coach Truck has ever been.
Substitutions into the game for Lafayette Generals. Number 2, Aubrey Cloud. And number 16 into the game, Campbell Tippy.
But I am enjoying the game.
And then in for the Frederick Douglass Broncos, number 13, a name you might recognize, Ellie Majors.
Okay, so there we go, Ellie Majors. Now, we've had a tradition here when dads usually call a game. Oh, kid usually produces. So I don't know. Might be big things up in store for Miss Majors. We're gonna have to wait and see. That's been the tradition here.
A corner kick by A.G. Meek, played high by number 2, Maddie Merriweather, and the referee has called a foul on the Broncos, and we're gonna have a free kick for the Generals. Attacked by the Generals, defended by the Broncos. Maddie Merriweather hustles back, sends the ball north. Be a free kick, or be a throw-in for the Generals on the far sideline. With 15 minutes left in the first half, score remains Lafayette Generals 1, Frederick Douglass 0. Throw into the Broncos. This time Lafayette Generals with the throw. Ball sent deep by the Generals. Into the corner for a deep throw. Number 20 on Ella Delaney deep in the corner to make the toss for the Broncos. JoJo Williams comes cross field to break up that play. And she's going to get tagged for handling. Be a free kick for the Generals. Good hustle from Williams.
A great hustle.
Number 24, Piper Smith, taking a free kick for Generals.
Oh,
Number 6.
Wow.
Number 16, Campbell Tippy with the shot and the score for Lafayette Generals.
Don't worry about it. I'll find out later. It ain't that shit. All right. 2-0. 12 minutes left in the first half.
And some substitutions in after that goal. Number 3, Chloe Crovo in for the Lafayette Generals. And in for the Frederick Douglass Broncos, number 3, Veda Johnson.
She scored both of them.
That shot by Tippy was at the top of the box. Nice hard shot that goes deep into the goal. That's her second goal of this evening, having both goals for the Generals.
Tippy's on a roll.
Ball played deep by Flynn. Lafayette back to defend that.
No, you go, we go. How we doing, folks? Go ahead.
Introduce them real quick.
About to play for against the Broncos. Going to be a free kick about 4 yards right outside the box. And in this situation, the center official is going to present a yellow card to number 24, Ava Rao. Taking the kick for the Lafayette Generals, number 24, Piper Smith. Again, about 6 yards outside the left-hand corner of the box. Deep hard in the shot. Ball goes high. Out of bounds off the football goalpost.
We want to welcome our man Jared Peck to the broadcast. HL Preps doing big things.
Right.
Jared, man, where you been today? I know you've been out somewhere.
Wrote a football preview and been doing a little bit with the Dunbar mess I started last night, and I apologize for that. But Dunbar's been very responsive to some of the things I said on Twitter last night, so it's been great I got to talk to the AD and the principal today, so that's all cleaned up. And then, it's fun life. And then, with your Douglas has a little volleyball team issue, and I've been following well in the news. And I don't want that story, but that story came and found me. But I'm happy to come out and see soccer this week, see what Douglas can do here. I know they got a young team. I know Lafayette does not have a young team. They have a team full of 9 seniors.
Yes.
And, a couple pretty good strikers. And they've been getting work done. They've got a very big contest next week. They play Lexington Catholic next week, and that's when we see, right now Lafayette's undefeated, but they have 2 ties, and 2 kind of really inexplicable ties. They tied at Scott County, and then they tied George Rogers Clark in the showcase or the spectacular, whichever one of those things the tournament is called. I can't keep which one the boys is and the girls is straight. But my daughter played for Lafayette a couple of years ago, but I don't root. I root for all Lexington teams. So I want to see a good game. I won't say that I don't have a Lafayette shirt in my house, but I do not bleed the red and blue.
Come on, no biasness at all. Huh?
I can't do bias. I'm very happy for It was easier a couple years ago because I used to coach soccer, and I coached a bunch of kids at a bunch of different schools, so I could just always claim whoever was winning.
Oh, okay.
But now, I'm just happy to see a good competitive match, and I don't buy. Oh, go ahead. That's a good recovery.
Yeah, the keeper from Frederick Douglass, Reese Walker, comes up high in the box, misplays the ball, and attacked and try to take advantage of by Lafayette Generals. Walker with the punt.
Go ahead.
No, please go ahead, Jared.
No, I'm just happy to be here and happy to take in some soccer, and I've worked all day, so I'm just here kind of hanging out tonight because Coach Truck, I love Coach Truck, so
hey, I appreciate you, man.
I wanted to help him out, but it sounds like he's got a pretty good play-by-play man here, and I'm stepping all over him, so I got to stop doing that. You were sounding pretty good.
He was doing good, man. Hey, shout out to my man, Mr. Majors, doing big things. Hey, we got to get this man a gig.
Truck calling this soccer game, he might as well be facing the wall back here, and he could call it just as well because Truck doesn't know. I told him it's like 1950s basketball. Pass, 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 shoot. And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, but it's been a very entertaining game. My man Marshawn has been keeping up with everything on the camera. Shout out to Marshawn. I was a little nervous for Marshawn, his first time shooting soccer. But he's been all right so far.
If you can shoot soccer, Truck, anybody can shoot soccer.
Well, Marshawn, man, he's a little suspect sometimes. He's been known to miss a dunk or two or a touchdown, so I have to stay on him.
How about that Campbell Tippy girl? That was something.
Yeah, she's got two on tonight. She got the first one early on. So, yeah.
Substitution we missed for the Bronco. Into the game, we've got number 11, Avery King. Going to pay a throw in for the Generals on the far side of the field.
So now we were talking about this earlier. So Lexington Catholic are they kind of considered the bully on the block pretty much for this region as far as girls soccer?
They have been to the state finals 9 times and won 1. Back in 2002, they've won 4 straight region championships, I believe.
Oh.
3 straight district championships in here with Lafayette, Tates Creek, and LCA and Dunbar. The last team not named Lexington Catholic who won the region was Dunbar a few years ago. But, yeah, they tend to have, all the – like every team has 2 or 3 or 4 top club players. Lexington Catholic seems to have 9 or 10 or 11, 12 top club players. And Lexington Catholic carries, 11 seniors every year, not just, every time the tide rises. They carry a lot of senior experience. I mean, last year Lexington Catholic graduated a player who's on a Division I Florida roster, and a player who's on Division I Kentucky roster, and a player who's on Division I Central Michigan roster. So that's what we were dealing with when you played LexCath.
Okay.
Lafayette, unfortunately, had one of their best players, like one of the best players in the state, decide not to continue her high school career.
Really?
And she's a club player. She's going to go play for Princeton as in college, and that's Brooke Daw-Hair.
So she can quit playing as in high school and just say, I'm going to go play college?
If you're a 3-star prospect, yes, you can.
Oh, okay.
So it's sad for me, but, I mean, she wanted to stay healthy. This field last year, the old turf field, it was sketchy.
Oh,
and this turf field is new, but it's fine.
So what does she do? Is she like playing?
She plays club. She plays with the club teams.
Okay.
But she was like a top club player. She was playing in a college league this past summer, so she's big time.
Okay. See, that's why we love
Corner
Jared Peck.
Substitutions in the game for Lafayette Generals. We've got number 8, Shannon Donworth, a junior midfielder. And number 10, Emily Arnold, a senior defender.
A couple of dangerous chances there for Lafayette that Douglas dealt with pretty easily. And now they're on the run. No, free kick.
Foul called on the Generals. Be a free kick for the Broncos. Number 20, Addie O'Farrell up to take the kick. Ball placed around the 37-yard line.
But you see the Generals here with 9 seniors. This is a really a spectacular class for them, and it has quite a few players who are going to go on to continue to play college at some level. And, I think they're a threat to Lexington Catholic this year, but we're going to find out next week.
Okay.
Generals back on the attack. Number 16, Campbell Tippy, again up front, driving that force. Defended by the Broncos.
As Douglas plays Henry Clay pretty soon, right? It's coming up.
I got this.
The Clay game for Broncos on the 13th. It'd be a home game for Henry Clay, away for Douglas.
Yeah, I usually attend that game because it's usually a district positioning kind of game. I saw Henry Clay place there. That's a good ball.
Nice through ball over to Tippy. She's going to pull back and a shot.
Ooh. Okay.
Couldn't tell exactly, but I think it was a post.
Yeah, that's a post.
Look kind of fancy right there. I like the footwork.
She made 3 how you doing moves right there. That's 3 how you doing.
Tippy working on our hat trick for the first half.
Man.
Just shy of 1.5 minutes left in the first half.
Lee Simpson.
Ooh. That looked like that might have hurt just a little bit.
Under one to play.
1 minute left.
Now, do they have like the bonus time in high school
Nope.
like they do?
The clock is the clock. They stop the clock when they need to stop the clock.
Oh,
The
okay,
referee
okay.
holds up his hands and crosses his arms, and that's
Okay.
the signal to stop the clock. So there's no
Extra
guessing about
time, okay.
what's going on. The clock is the clock. My son was confused about that a couple weeks ago. He came to a Lafayette boys game. Was like, is there no stoppage time? He's like, nope, there's no stoppage time.
Finishing out the first half with the last 10 seconds. Lafayette continues to gain control possession for the majority of this half.
All right. That's the first half.
That's going to wrap up the first half of this home game for Lafayette Generals. Score, Lafayette 2, Frederick Douglass Broncos 0.
All right, we're going to step away for a little bit as we get ready for this halftime.
We're going to make one quick correction. We had indicated that Tippy had 2 of those goals. We're going to give one of those goals over to Simpson. Lily Simpson, number 9, was the scorer on that first goal.
Okay.
All right, thanks for joining us first half. We'll be back on the second half action with you shortly.
All right. All right, welcome back. I'm joined by HL Preps, Mr. Jared Peck and Mark Major as we continue the second half of this Douglas versus Lafayette girls soccer game. Lafayette's up 2-0.
As the referees take their position, it's going to be Lafayette with kick. Another 40-minute half, getting ready to get on the way. Give you a first half recap. In the first 40 minutes, Lafayette dropped 2 goals on Freddie Douglas. First goal by number 9, Lily Simpson. And the second goal by number 16, Campbell Tippy.
Those two have been starting for Lafayette since they were both freshmen. And their freshman year, Lafayette made it. They lost twice to Lexington Catholic, once in the 43rd District Finals and once in the 11th Region Finals. But Lafayette's been upset the last 2 years in the region tournament. They made the region tournament each year, and they they took a penalty kick loss to Henry Clay 1 year, and then they got upset by Great Crossing last year. They beat Great Crossing 3-0 2 weeks before the region tournament, and then lost to them 3-2 in the region tournament. Wow. So they've got something to play for this year. They're going to try to get that back.
Douglas draws a foul right outside the box, and it's going to be a ball deep into the box by number 20, Addie O'Farrell, and a goal by number 9, Joe Williams.
Good job keeping that play alive and the ball finding the right foot.
Just 53 seconds into the second half, Douglas answers with 1. Again, that goal, but to number 9, Jordan JoJo Williams. We'll give that assist to number 20, freshman Addie O'Farrell on the free kick.
I think in both Lafayette's ties this year, they had the lead at one point and gave it up. So, they'll be looking to try to break that trend. So far, it's not looking good. 2-0 lead is the most dangerous lead in soccer, they say.
Ball played wide by the Generals. Will be a throw-in for Frederick Douglass.
You ever heard that truck? The 2-0 lead's the most dangerous lead?
I did not. I just heard it today. I'm up. Hey, my soccer dictionary is expanding.
Well, the reason is because if they get one goal back, then all of a sudden the team that's down 2-1 is really jazzed. And the team that is giving up the momentum is not so much.
Okay.
And so it's called danger time.
See, I'm using that. Next game, y'all going to hear me. This is danger time, ladies and gentlemen.
Coach Truck taking notes.
Danger time, yes. I was just finna ask now, as a Douglas coach, what would be your strategy going into this second half of the game?
They need to keep the pressure up.
Hype and energy, right?
Yeah, they need to keep pressure up, right? They need to stay in their end of the field and make sure that they're keeping the pressure on Lafayette and making Lafayette make confident, secure passes in the back, which in high school soccer is not really that much of a thing. So if you're making the defenders pass the ball around like they just did a while ago, that's a dangerous time. You got a foul call.
We have a foul called on Gabby Barnes over on the far side. Oh, it's going to be, foul on Barnes. It'll be a free kick for the Generals.
So whenever the referee raises his flag and waves it, that's a foul.
Oh, okay. So when he just throws it up, that's just offsides.
Yeah, it could be offsides. It could be out of play.
Okay.
But if he makes a circle with it, it's a foul. There we go.
See, I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Jared Peck, that's why he's our man. Jared the Professor Peck.
Oh, try to step into that one. It's going the other way.
Good touch by Merriweather.
Danger time.
Ball played wide to Williams.
Great ball.
Number 17, Alana Wilson out there for the defense.
Referee wasn't interested in that.
And ball's going to be awarded to the Generals for a throw.
So that was a tough challenge that all the Douglas fans thought was a foul, but the referee immediately waved his hand and said, no, get up. Our play-by-play man probably didn't agree with that.
Substitution in the game for Lafayette Generals, number 24, Piper Smith, senior defender.
No.
Haley Flynn with a deep shot.
Hmm.
Block save by keeper, number 1, Claire Studdard.
The Douglas has come out with a fire. They might have gotten a little talking to at the half about how they were playing, so they've definitely picked up the intensity.
Yeah, I've noticed that. They've definitely been more the attack aggressor in the second half.
Taking the corner kick for the Broncos, number 23, A.G. Meek. Flynn with the header goes wide. Be a goal kick.
That was a good ball to the back post. She just didn't get enough of a lean into that header, but it was a good attempt. I think the 42nd district is wide open this year. I mean, I've seen Henry Clay play. I've seen Sarah play. You had Douglas and Scott County. Although Scott County is looking pretty tough. I mean, Scott County's got the one player, and I can't remember her name right now, but she's really good. And so this might be the best Scott County team has been in quite some time. They haven't made a 42nd district final in a time, and this could be a year that they make it. So everybody in the city has got to be aware of that and got to be ready for Scott County this year.
Okay.
Foul called on the Generals will be a free kick for the Broncos. Again, number 20, Addie O'Farrell, up to take the kick.
But yeah, Scott County tied Lafayette 3-3 here last game or two, and if Douglas can do the same here, they'll feel pretty good about that district game too.
Center's going to call a tip, resulting in a corner kick for the Broncos.
Lafayette's really like on the back foot here. It's that's a soccer term, truck, on the back foot.
Okay.
They're really on their heels.
I was going to say, it looks like Douglas is really aggressive right now, and all Lafayette's doing is just kind of trying to hold on.
Again, number 23, A.G. Meek with the corner. Number 8, Riley Kate Porter, RKP, with the header, goes high.
I love that RKP, though. I do.
So Douglas, if Lafayette's on the back foot, what's Douglas on, truck? What do you think they're on? And it's soccer term.
Front foot.
Front foot.
I was gonna say
You
that's
got
too easy.
First guess.
I wouldn't.
First guess.
I thought you were setting me up.
On the gas is where they're on. They're on the gas.
They are on the gas with no brakes.
Keeper Claire Studdard up to take the scoop.
Now,
She'll
as a
send it deep.
defensive team, how do you break this up? Like, what can you do to I guess get the ball on the other side of the field? Is there anything you can do?
You have to make connections. So now how you tell who's doing well in soccer is how well they connect their passes.
Okay,
And if you can connect your passes, you can control the ball.
kind of like that.
Yep. And if you can't keep your passes connected, then you're going to be continually passing to the other team. So what they have to do is calm down, keep the ball on the ground, and make sure their passes are to each other and not just into space.
Be offside called on against the Generals. Free kick for the Broncos.
Nope. Oh, caught a foul.
Broncos pick up the foul. Free kick for the Broncos. Again, O'Farrell, freshman defender, up to take the kick. 40 yards off the back line. Player looks to the sideline. Coach Megan Atkins gives some direction. Ball deflected off the back line.
That was a good ball in.
Yeah. Going to be a corner kick for the Broncos. Number 23, Anna Grace Meek, taking the kick once again. JoJo Williams get called for the foul.
That's another dangerous ball when you got the keeper like backpedaling and on her line. That usually doesn't end well for the for the goalkeeper or the defense.
It was a really pretty ball sent in by A.G. Meek.
The wind's blowing just enough to kind of mess with it, and you could see one of those Olympico kind of goals, which I've already seen one this year. So, it seems to be, even though it's a pretty difficult play, that they happen a lot in high school soccer. And that's a good goal.
Good touch and turn by JoJo Williams. Her shot on goal goes high.
Yeah, Douglas is just taking chances. I mean, they're being very aggressive and getting in the box and getting after it. And Lexington Catholic can't calm down and just keep it with themselves.
Substitution in the game for Lafayette Generals. Number 3, Chloe Crovo, a freshman midfielder. Jared, you make a good point. It's been really a tale of two halves so far.
Yes.
Second half compared to the first.
There's a ball. No, she couldn't get it. No. That was too big a touch there on the just trying to make it one more pass back past the defender there. Lafayette really does some nice intricate passing on the top of the 18-yard line to get themselves free, and they make some nice runs and triangle plays that I've seen over the years. But right now, Douglas is just being more aggressive.
In that situation, that was number 9, Lily Simpson, a senior forward, that was being aggressive down on the end line. And here she is again in that same area, same area of the field.
Yeah.
Working hard enough to earn her team a corner kick.
Lily Simpson's mom actually played for Lafayette back in the day when they were state champions.
Really?
Yep.
Man, that's why Jared is Jared, man. This man right here.
She's a second-generation Lafayette player.
Wow.
Simpson's ball sent into the center of the box. Cleared by Douglas. And now keeper Reese Walker comes out with the scoop. Walker with a deep punt tonight. .16 Haley Flynn taking the ball. Sends it deep into JoJo Williams.
JoJo Williams is going to turn it loose if she gets a chance. I'm getting a foul call.
Now, foul called on the Broncos. There's going to be a free kick for the Lafayette Generals.
I think if Lafayette can weather this pressure from Douglas for another, they can get to 20 minutes. This game will calm back down and settle more their way. But if Douglas keeps leaning in like this, that next goal is coming.
Yeah, throw in for Lafayette. Number 24, Piper Smith, senior defender, up to take the throw.
Nice move.
Yeah.
Number 16, Campbell Tippy with the shot. Bronco keeper 99, Reese Walker with the save.
Got the new turf out here, the new Lafayette logo with the swords. Looks pretty sharp in the center of the field. I've asked soccer coaches about it. They're kind of miffed about the lacrosse, markers being out. And the lacrosse team really wears out that spot right in front of the lacrosse goal, and so that's become a concern. But compared to the old field they had here, which was like plastic green pebbles, I mean, it was really like packing material pebbles out there, and just tiny, tiny beads. And so now it's more like the turf that everybody else has.
Substitution into the game for Lafayette Journals, number 11, Allie Robertson, a senior forward into the game.
But it looks sharp. And Taste Creek's got a new surface this year as well. The football team plays on it on Friday night. They got North Oldham. North Oldham's got a new field that they'll get to open up next week. I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter, ball.
16, Campbell Tippy running away with the aggressive.
Couldn't get back to her favored foot there. That's what the difference was. She took too big a touch, wanted to set it up herself up, but let the ball get away there at the end.
Yeah, forced to go with her left and scooped up by Walker.
But the new North Oldham turf is teal.
Oh, really?
Was it
Yeah.
really?
It is something to see. You look up
I'm
North
gonna have to
Oldham.
check that
Look
out.
up
I'm
North
gonna have
Oldham
to check
football
that
on
out.
Twitter, and you'll see the teal.
Quick
field.
counterattack by the Broncos. That ball scooped up by the keeper, Claire Studdard.
Yeah, we were shooting our show for this week, and I was kind of wondering, would Taste Creek be looking ahead maybe this week?
They don't need to be. I think North Oldham's 2-0.
Yeah, they got that big game next week.
Oh, that's a great ball. It's just too much, a little too much. Good job by the keeper.
Good ball sent in by number 3, Chloe Crovo. Just a little too much. Keeper out. Reese Walker out to grab it.
Yeah, people don't believe me, but soccer is my favorite sport because there's just so many opportunities and so many things you can do. People think it's boring. It's 2-1, 1-0. And it's like there's chances being made and taken and things being done all over the field. And football games, if we just kept scores by 1s and 2s, wouldn't be that exciting.
Broncos on the attack. JoJo Williams up front. And Ava Rao comes to support. Ball goes wide out of bounds. We turn over to Lafayette Journals for the throw.
But soccer's constant motion. There's constantly something that could be done or done better. There's constantly a chance to.
Foul called on the Journals. Be a free kick for the Broncos.
Feel like that might have been a little generous. What do you think?
I think it was that same part of that field, Jared, where JoJo was looking for that foul last time. Didn't get it, but maybe this time she got.
Oh yeah, I could see that. See that. I think the last challenge that she suffered was probably more of a foul.
I don't disagree one bit.
This one looked more like I think I can jump 1 foot horizontally in the air and see what happens. But this is a good chance.
O'Farrell over to take the kick. It's a low kick.
Yeah,
Ball cleared by the Journals.
They would have wanted to do better with that because you want to get that in the air and make some chaos. Good recovery there by Douglas to get back possession. All right, they give it right back up. Nope, they get it back. Oh, wow. Now that could have gone either way. They were both hand fighting there for the ball.
Foul called on the Generals on that.
But I don't disagree with that. I mean, somebody was going to get the call. Has to go some way.
Lafayette student section starting to show up and make themselves a little bit more vocal.
They didn't agree with that.
No, they did not.
They did not.
O'Farrell goes short into Atkins, who's going to shoot. and I'm going to be awarded a handball at the top of the box.
Fortunate for Lafayette that was way outside the 18, but it's still going to set up a dangerous chance here.
Fred Douglass soccer program spent their weekend down in Gatlinburg. Went 3-0 with the Mountain Cup and took home the hardware both in the 3-0 for the varsity and also 3-0 for the junior varsity teams.
That's a pizza party right there. 2 pizza parties. Did you hit the flapjacks?
The 16 Haley Flynn with the kick. Went high. A couple players that we haven't seen from the Broncos tonight. Number 6, Ella Flynn, a sophomore super strong player, as well as number 4, Savannah Hughes, a junior defender.
Any insight on that? Is it dinged up a little bit from the big weekend, maybe?
Quite possibly.
Now, this is not a district game, so, this is a game just to kind of see where you're at as a team against, one of the 43rd's best teams. And it's like over in the 42nd, it's Douglas and Henry Clay and Sayre and Scott County and Bryan Station. And Bryan Station's been down for a few years now, but, these teams will all have to face each other in the 11th region tournament if they get there. And so folks are pretty certain that Lafayette's going to be there. So you want to see how you stack up against Lafayette in a regular season game.
Now,
but it's not crucial to have everybody out there if you don't have to have them.
Now, do they do districts and regions like basketball, the top 2 make it?
Exactly like basketball.
Okay.
And exactly like basketball, it's not exactly fair to Lexington teams.
Ah.
And baseball as well. I mean, Lexington's 43rd district has 5 state championships amongst the 5 teams. Wow. And then in girls soccer here, that's a tough ball.
Broncos with the ball at the top of the box. Goalie's up high, off the line.
Douglas is still
Majors plays the ball on the far side, out of bounds for a throw-in for the Broncos. Excuse me.
But Lexington teams are routinely, back when we had a ranking system, I think the ranking system's gone down this year, but Lexington teams are, all of them are in the top 25 in the state.
Wow.
And so that's even it's like that in baseball as well. It's not so much that in basketball. There are a lot of good basketball teams, but then what you have is a really unbalanced tournament where the 11th region champion can probably beat the 11th region 10th place team, could probably win 10 regions in the state.
Wow, okay.
Another free kick for the Broncos. Ball played short from O'Farrell to Atkins.
Now, just curious, who's like the other, is it the Louisville region is probably pretty much the other power region?
Louisville has got Sacred Heart, which is a private, the private school that's good at basketball. They're also very, very good at soccer.
Okay.
And then Notre Dame and Northern Kentucky, and Highlands are 2 powerhouses from Northern Kentucky.
Okay.
And boys soccer, Bowling Green area, South Warren and Bowling Green are very good. Davis County is very good in soccer.
Okay.
Highlands is very good in soccer. Covenant Catholic is pretty good in soccer.
Okay.
But in the Louisville team, Saint X has more championships in boys soccer than anybody. They have championships back before even that well organized. They claim them all, just like they do in most sports.
Marywell does a good job of slicing through some defense. Hands it over to Flynn. Ball intercepted by the Generals.
Now we're under that 20-minute mark.
No, this is game on from here on out. I mean, they have not been able to turn the tide in the last 6 minutes, so I think that they're just going to be dealing with this the rest of the game. Douglas is here. They're all in their grill, and that's just the way it's going to be.
And again, another foul called against the Generals. Be a free kick for the Broncos. Haley Flynn going to be taking the kick 30 yards off the line. Ball goes high, out of bounds off the.
Another field goal for the football team. But, yeah, it's just I'm feeling like if Lafayette's going to do something, it's going to have to be on the counterattack. They're going to have to be able to get a ball free, get control of a ball, and get Tippy or Simpson on the break. And they've had Tippy on a break once. We've already seen that once, and she just got it on the wrong foot. I mean, that's what Lafayette's going to have to do to try to put this game away and get another goal because they're not controlling it. Douglas is controlling it.
Substitution into the game for Lafayette Generals. Number 8, Shannon Donworth, a junior defender, checking in.
Could this be a fatigue thing, or is this really just Douglas is just on it, I guess, essentially?
Douglas is playing really well. I mean, they're both running miles. And she's off.
Ball played deep, but general player offside. Be a free kick for the Broncos.
But no, soccer players run more than just about anybody, and a lot of times soccer players have a bad rap for flopping. The big flop, and they roll around on the ground for an hour. And like there's a line of thought out there that all the dramatics about flopping is just like I don't have to run as long as I lay right here. If I just lay right here, I can stop running for just a little while. And I think that's kind of part of what goes into there.
Mentalness.
If I could just not run for 30 seconds, that would be great.
Easy for us to say. We haven't had to run a lot too much this game, have we?
No, not at all. Though the Lafayette bleachers are a nice workout.
Deep ball played by the Generals. One of the few times this half, we've got the Broncos back in their defensive end.
Actually won a corner there.
16, Campbell Tippy plays the ball, blocked by the Broncos, and earned herself a goal kick.
Lafayette's playing this corner conservatively. They're keeping 3 back. They're not really trying to do anything with this corner other than just a normal let's get a chance, but they're not going all in. They're playing very conservatively.
Number 5, Kitty Crovo sends the ball wide. Goal kick for the Broncos. Substitution into the game for the Frederick Douglass Broncos. Coach Megan Atkins sending in number 5, Piper Lehman, sophomore midfielder. Striker this evening.
This is different for me being up here. I'm usually down on the field walking around, shooting video, and like dodging ball girls and ball guys. Like I had a Frankfurt ball guy one time just absolutely heave a ball in the side of my head at full speed. And I was like, thanks, dude. And like he was running up and down like crazy. And I was like, you need to calm down. It's like, you can get them the ball. It'll be fine. Uh-oh.
Well, he knew he was like, if Jerry's here, it's a big game.
Lafayette on the attack.
Couple of runners, couple of options for her. He takes the Simpson option. Goal.
Number 9, Lily Simpson with the shot and the goal.
I think we're out of danger time now.
Well, that certainly helped. And like I said, it was going to be a counterattack there. That happened. That went from one end to the other very, very quickly. They went right down the field, connected their passes, got numbers. Douglas was outnumbered in the transition there. It was like 3-on-2, and Lafayette's 2 senior strikers knew what to do with it.
All right.
Second goal this evening for Simpson. The assist going to number 2, Aubrey Cloyd. with just over 12 minutes remaining in the second half. Score, Lafayette Generals 3, Frederick Douglass 1.
And I believe last year, Cloyd, Tippy, and Simpson all had more than 10 goals. So you really can't, like with some teams, you can take away one player. You can body up two players. Like Sarah has Monahan, and basically you can put a two-player blanket on Monahan and try to keep her in check. But Lafayette, you can't really do that because three players can hurt you, and that's one of the reasons why people think they might have a chance this year to do some more than hit that Lexington Catholic ceiling at the end of the 11th region final.
Deep throw in for the Generals. Number 10, Emery Arnold taking the throw. Haley Flynn with the deep kick. Shot. Ball goes high.
It wasn't a bad idea. She got a little space, just got a little bit too much air under it. And I think the wind is playing a factor in some of that, and they're not kind of judging that very well. But Douglas has had a team in the 11th region final before. They were in the 11th region final against Dunbar a few years ago when Dunbar won it, and that was fairly early on in the program's history.
Mm-hmm.
Megan Atkins has got a great pedigree. She was with Lexington Catholic forever as an assistant coach to Terry Quigley. Terry Quigley has more wins at Lexington Catholic than any other high school girls coach in the state.
I saw that. I think you wrote the article.
I write a few articles, yeah. Lexington Catholic is the number one boys coach and number
it was good. Both of them have 1,000 wins apiece or something like that,
each
right?
have 500 wins, 1,000
yeah,
together.
1,000 together.
1,000 together. Although Todd Bretz has got St. Xavier's Dan Schulten on his tail, and he's tied him last year, so Schulten's going to run away with it with his St. X team because they're just a powerhouse. When you go 28-2 every year, you can build up a few wins.
Who's the team that's beating them, though? Just curious. It's out of state team.
Douglas tied them last year. Dunbar plays them here in a couple of weeks, I think. I mean, they're one of the top teams, but they can be had. Okay. Dunbar beat St. X last year on penalty kicks because Dunbar beats everybody on penalty kicks in boys soccer.
Now, is that because they're a very good defensive team?
They're very technical. They connect their passes well. They defend well. Okay. Dunbar is just a great technically savvy team, and they can play you 1-1. They can play you 0-0. And then when they've gotten the boys team, when they've gotten into postseason situations where they're in penalty kicks, they've won every penalty kick shootout they've had for the last 3 years.
Wow.
And so they beat Douglas the last 3 seasons in a row. They've eliminated Douglas boys soccer on penalty kicks, once in the first round, once in the semifinals, last year in the finals.
Wow.
And then they won the state championship in the penalty kicks in the state finals.
See, this is why we love when Jared comes from.
Had a nice touch and pullback by Ava Rao. Shot goes wide into the side net. Goal kick for the Generals. Substitution in the game for the Broncos, number 23, A.G. Meek.
So this is not a district game, but if these two teams were in the same district, this game would have to be decided on penalty kicks at the end if it ended in a tie, because they can't have any ties in the district.
Ah.
So, but fortunately, we won't see that tonight. The game will end when the game ends. Okay. Regardless, it'll be a tie if it's a tie.
Now, Mark, did you call those games the regional games you were talking about that Dunbar beat Douglas?
It's in the boys.
In the boys, yeah, and not in the past 2 years. I had previously done just the PA. We don't do play-by-play. We just do the standard games for that. But my son's been out. He's a sophomore now at the University of Kentucky. So for those 4 years, I was doing some of those games. Okay. Yeah, always excited. Dunbar has a place in our heart, right?
No, well, I'm sure they do. Now, one of the finest coaching jobs I've seen. By any coach at any level in any sport is the coach that Omar Schloss does for the Dunbar boys, because that's a handball. Because he has built that program from nothing. He has kept kids in that program despite some kids not getting very much playing time over the course of their careers. I mean, they had something like 17 seniors last year. And with all the griping and complaining that comes on about playing time, I don't know how you keep 17 seniors bought into your program and all the underclassmen bought into your program year over year for you to keep building into like the number 1-2 team in the state. It seems like to me in that situation, that team would fall apart from the inside just because of all the people who thought me, 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 me. And if you can coach a team that doesn't think that and buys in together and pulls all in the same direction, you can have a season like Douglas did last year. And they were literally, they were
That close.
They were very good, and if they had made it through that penalty kick shootout, they could have been in the state final very easily. They had some of the fastest players in the state. Cooper Ranvier, who's a phenomenal football kicker, is one of the best soccer strikers in the state. He is an unbelievable soccer player. If you think that he's pretty good at playing football, you need to come out and watch him play soccer because he's incredible.
Plays with a motor that just doesn't stop. It's really, really fun to watch him play.
And they connect passes, and they're just Douglas is a fun team to watch because they can beat you in so many ways. They can beat you connecting passes. They can beat you playing direct and playing long ball. They can beat you on set pieces in the box. Not every team can do all those things. Some teams can't win set pieces. Some teams can't counter. Douglas could do all that, and I think they can still do it this year. I was watching them play in a game this year, Douglas boys, and they can still do all those things.
Earlier this season, didn't
They tied Dunbar at the beginning of the season, and they'll get their wins. I mean, I think they're going to be very good again this year, even though they lost all those seniors and players. They still have Shindera and Cooper scoring goals for them and making passes for them. The midfield is where the question marks are for Douglas, because they had a very, very good center midfielder last year, and now it's like who's connecting passes for them through the middle of the field. And I think that's still a developing situation, but there's no doubt that the Douglas boys team is another contender this year.
Ball played deep for the Broncos. JoJo Williams on the run. Be a throw-in for Frederick Douglass.
And really, I think Douglas was done in last year. When that the region being at Madison Central doesn't play into Douglas's height and speed because it was a smaller field. When it was on grass, the grass field at Madison Central is smaller. When it was moved to the turf, unlike Lexington, the soccer fields that aren't outside of Lexington aren't as wide as they are here. Like, this is a huge broken back track field that has a very wide soccer area. At Madison Central, when they play soccer on the football field, the soccer lines are much closer to the football lines.
Really?
It's a much tighter, much narrower field, and that is good for a big physical team, but it's not very good for a team that likes to
athletic team.
An athletic team or a connecting team. And also, there was a high wind that day, and Douglas was very good with the balls in the air, and every ball in the air was floating in space that day because of the high wind. So, Dunbar beat them. Madison Central's field beat them. The wind beat them. They got beaten all kinds of ways, and they managed to take it to penalty kicks.
Some substitutions that we might have missed earlier. Number 16 into the game, Campbell Tippy. Also, number 3, Chloe Crovo. Number 24, Piper Smith. And also number 11, Allie Robertson.
Up.
Go into the box.
3 minutes left.
Number 3, Chloe Crovo for the Lafayette Generals.
That was one of those bouncing balls, which is a very dangerous ball, and Crovo did an excellent job of keeping her composure, because in that situation you can get very excited to see that ball in front of you with space and mishit it, and she calmly just got it around the keeper and into the side net.
That brings tonight's score with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left remaining in the second half. Lafayette Generals 4, Frederick Douglass Broncos 1.
And you see how quickly this game changed from being where Douglas was looking like they were going to get the next goal, and then Lafayette managed to get a quick counter, get the 1 goal ahead, and that took all the starch out of Douglas a little bit.
Yeah.
And so Lafayette got back on the front foot, as they say, Coach.
He on the front foot for real.
And started taking back at him. But that doesn't happen for Lafayette when they get that counter. This game goes a different way. It's just it's very, the difference between winning and losing in soccer is 1 or 2 bounces a lot of times. And while this looks like a 4-1 game, it had been very much closer than that for a very long time.
Yeah, it had been. And like you said, Douglas was pressing.
Recent shot by 16 Haley Flynn, scooped up and grabbed by the keeper.
But it also wears on you what Lafayette can do with Lafayette getting to their edge strikers and going like they're doing right here. These balls that are getting onto runners. It's hard to defend that for 40 minutes. Lily Simpson in the corner there, and she gets it ticked out. No, it stayed in. There you go.
We spoke earlier about a player with a motor. Maddie Merriweather is one of those, exactly. Always on fire.
That was good. It was just unfortunate she couldn't control that. Now, you talked about strategy. Lafayette for the last few years is playing 3 in the back because a lot of teams play 4 defenders in the back just to protect the goal. But, Lafayette in recent years.
JoJo Jones with cross. Haley Flynn comes center. Ball goes wide.
Lafayette in recent years has played 3 defenders in the back because they have so many good players who can play midfield and forward that they want them on the field. So they've narrowed it down to 3 midfielders in the last few years just because of the talent they have up top.
Got a corner kick for the Broncos. Number 23, A.G. Meek, over to take the kick. Ball's in. Merriweather with a shot. Majors on goal. Scoop by the keeper.
Yeah. She had a beat on it. She just couldn't get enough leg on it. She made contact, but just not enough contact there. But it was a good ball in.
30 seconds remaining in the second half.
This has been great. I hope I haven't talked too much.
This has been fun. No, man. This has been awesome. I have really enjoyed this. Looking forward to more girls' soccer game. We're going to pick up a boys' soccer game here in the next week or so, see what we can do. Try and find one. It's a lot of opportunities out there.
You had a good draft pick tonight, Coach. This guy's been doing really good for some.
Yeah.
I think opposing teams PA is where you need to go.
Opposing team PA. We want to thank Mr. Majors. Great game. Up next, Lafayette has Lexington Catholic. Let's see here. Away at Lex Catholic.
I'll be at that game covering.
Frederick Douglass is at
Bethlehem this week.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Yeah. All right.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to come up and spin. I really, really enjoyed it. Coach Truck,
thank you.
Jared
Yes,
Peck, I really did. It was a lot of fun. So appreciate the opportunity to do so.
That was a great call. Sorry it didn't go your way, but you called a great game.
All right.
You're a winner.
Thank y'all for joining us.
Everybody's a winner.
Go down and get some interviews, and thank you for joining Big Things, and check out our show Thursday.